Lou had a great off probation. We're also proud of her, and she came through that beautifully. So we were very proud of Lou this year.
And Luann,
thanks. I went from probation to being now at home.
I know. Your last year should have been this year.
Luann,
I went from probation to quarantine. Here I am.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God,
I was gonna ask, what's the love life been like for you? Are there updates, Luann? Will we see any of that journey? What's your status right now?
Well, I started off the season, and I've been seeing my agent, and so that's been part of the storyline for me this season is that relationship, and so he lives in LA, I live in New York, so we live on different coasts, so we see each other when we see each other. He's very near and dear to me. And I just keep it, I keep it casual, and I can't wait to get out of quarantine.
But I think the fans will love Lou this year because I for one related to her in a totally different way, and I think the fans will enjoy it because I think Lou really did a lot of work on herself, and she's become just a more open person and just kind of a little more approachable with me. And I think she's more fun-loving and just down to earth without that, oh darling, don't be so uncool. She's more, okay, let's do this. If I want to have a drink, I'm gonna have a drink. I'm responsible. And girls, come on, let's do this. Come on.
Yeah.
And just, so re-energized.
But also too, I don't think any of us really fully understand the trauma and the stress that she was. So you see her come out of it at the other side and just, it's with that sigh of relief. She not only, you'll see it physically, you'll see it in her spirit. It's a different Lou,
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys. Listen, I feel like I've got my girlfriends back. I went through a really rough time, and I think it's very hard for people to relate to that kind of hard time that I went through. And, but this season, I feel like on the show, the girls are really supportive of me, and that really helped me get through it a lot.
Absolutely. And Luann, to that point about the ladies supporting you, you talked earlier this year about socially drinking, but taking it slow, going with responsibility, and after a lot of soul searching, which I'm sure a lot of people could relate to and appreciate. So what has that journey been like for you as far as the support from the women goes?
Well, listen, the girls have been supportive of whatever decision I make, whether it's a drink or not drink. And I'm trying not to label it. I couldn't drink for almost 2 years. So it was really hard to be under that kind of stress, and also with the lifestyle that we lead, in real life on the show and traveling the way we do. And so that was not easy. And I decided, I hit the reset button. I'm back in the driver's seat. And I feel good. And I decided, you know what, I'll casually drink, but I'm not labeling it. I take it day by day. At this point, during the being home, I just decided I'm not drinking now. So I drink casually and on occasion, and right now I'm not drinking.
You've been very responsible. I really believe, and I've seen it, Lou has been very responsible with her drinking, and I just think she's grown so much because she did so much work on herself, and it really shows this season. I think it's very inspirational to the viewers.
How can you not have a glass of wine during quarantine? There's so few things to look forward to.
And checking in with Dorinda and Luann, the two of you and your friendship, you're here, we're interviewing together. What is the status? Give us an update.
Well, you saw the first episode where it came right back. We're good. I think we're good, Lou, don't you? We talk all the time. We've rekindled our our friendship, and it feels good to be back and close. We lost track for it's sad
for a while
that we can't see. Well, usually during this time, it's our time to kind of
come together.
Yeah, and bond. And I missed that. And Lou was going to go up to Krupala, and we started to make plans together outside of the show, because we always take a little break, and that all kind of got put to a stop, which is
speaking of just our Dorinda, I really found this season for the first time in my 12 years there was such a bonding with us. Even though we would have our contentiousness and our arguments, there was a bond and a freer spirit, and it was lighter, and I enjoyed filming this year more than any year before.
I said the same thing, Ramona. You know what I said? This was the first year that at the end of it, I wasn't pushing it to be over. Usually I'm like, 6 days. This year I was sort of like, it really felt like we got into an incredible rhythm, and everybody was so into it. We worked like animals.
We had a good time. I feel like the dynamic has changed. Because you know, well, as you know, Bethenny's not on this season, and I feel like there's more room for us to show our true personalities because, you know, listen, Bethenny's a big character and she took up a lot of oxygen in the room, and I just feel like we all have room to breathe now.
And I also think that we just really went in there with a great attitude. You know, I gotta admit, it was a little scary at first when she wasn't coming back because, you know, like you said, she was a big character. But we all put on our big girl pants and we went for it, and we really we gave it our all. I think
what also happened was episode 2 will be going to the Hamptons. I had this idea, let's all be under one roof because everyone loves it. All the fans love it. We go to the Berkshires at Dorinda's house. They love our group trip. So I thought a great way for us to get to know Leah, for me to rebond with Dorinda and Sonia, and et cetera, because we go our separate ways, was to be together. And that right out the gate, that sets the mood for the whole season. It's just so incredible. It really is.
Ramona, how was it for you filming this season without Bethenny there?
You know, one thing I always say that the Housewife franchise, at least with New York City, it's a wheel. It just keeps moving. You can take some spokes off, but it just keeps going. It's a machine.
Yeah. And you mentioned the new girl. Let's talk about Leah McSweeney. How has it been adding her to the fold?
She's great. I mean, I think she really held her own. She brings a great new dynamic to the show. She is, you know, she's a little younger than us, and she lives, you know, I said downtown. She lives downtown. How could that be? Come on now. But she really held her own, and she gave as good as she got. And I think the audience is really going to enjoy her and enjoy the dynamic with the other girls.
And
Leah's a New Yorker. Leah's a New Yorker. She's tough. Sorry. Leah's a New Yorker. She's tough. She's a mother. So, you know, she's has her own business. And I think that we're going to see that part of her. And then we're going to see the vulnerable part of her, which is her family life. And so I think people are really going to connect to that part of her.
And the way I like to describe Leah is I call her the wild horse that needs to be tamed. And when she came to the home in the Hamptons, in the trailer, you see her running around my pool, half naked with a torch of fire, like Game of Thrones, okay? You have no idea. You have no idea. And by the end of the weekend, she just looked at me and she said, "Can you adopt me as my mother?" So I go, okay. So I definitely held her accountable to a higher standard. And this is the first time I didn't have a housewife. I had a housewife daughter. Because our age difference, I could be her mother. So you'll have to see our trials and tribulations, and because we definitely went head to head a few times. So I said, "You can't act like that. You're not being responsible. I'm not liking that." And she, but she's vocal, she's verbal, and she holds her own.
Yeah, well, I love that. I love to hear that she can hold her own because you are a strong group of women. That's why we love you, because we get to see it all unfold in front of our eyes. I'm curious to know, out of the three of you, just the three of you, who has the most drama unfold this season? It can be resolved, but who has the most?
I think I have a lot of drama and changes and vulnerability and movement. But everybody really does have a strong story to tell this year. It's just different. You know, it's a lot of different emotions, and that's what makes a great show. You know, every season there's different people going through different things, and I think that this year more than ever, wouldn't you say, you guys?
Yeah, it's all going well, and you know, Dorinda and I have gotten closer, and Ramona has been the most supportive I've ever seen Ramona of me. And but then, you know, we'll go to the Berkshires and the shit hits the fan. You just never know.
We don't want to, listen, I say it, but Dorinda has been through a lot of stress, and you're going to see her do certain things to me, because you see it on the trailers, to me, to Luann, to Tinsley, and to Leah. But the thing is, we love Dorinda. So we have some issues sometimes when she gets upset, but we deal with it, and you're going to see how it gets resolved or not. And, you know, and it's a great.
Yeah, and I think this year that I really realize is I don't want to put up with a lot of baloney. You know what I mean? Either tell the truth or don't. And I call it out. I was exhausted too, I think, a lot of the season.
Big storyline this season is your relationship with John, of course. Can you give us an update? Are you still together? What's the latest?
Well, we'll see how that unfolds. It does take a lot of turns and changes. I said actually the other day, it wasn't my house that was only under construction. I thought that should have been my tagline. Listen, I think going through as everyone knows, I had to shut down Bluestone Manor. It caused a lot of stress, but it also made me stop and think about where I wanted to be in my life, and redoing the house in the process. I sort of redid myself, my relationships, my wants, my desires, and where I want to be in this next phase of my life. So, you know, you're going to see, and in that sometimes relationships change. You know, it doesn't mean they have to be over for good. They just change into something else. I think Ramona said that with Mark.
And with Dorinda, she doesn't really, like, I told her, I go, you're stressed out because you had 8, the viewers will see it. She had 8 things happen to her within a month or 2, where 1 or 2 things alone would make someone nuts. And the fact that she even got through what she got through, it was amazing. She went through so much stuff.
We got to start with you, Ramona. You had the internet lose it when you started cleaning that toilet with the brush. Did you expect it to get the reaction that it ended up getting?
Well, number one, I found out because my daughter, I found out through my daughter's DM. She goes, Mom, you're cleaning the toilet wrong. So I had to redo the toilets because I didn't do it properly. And then as far as the washing of the floor, well, as Dorinda knows and Luann, I always go around in a nightgown. That's like my t-shirt. So those are my sweats, you know, that's how I live.
And Dorinda and Luann, what were your thoughts on Ramona's cleaning methods?
Well, I must say, go ahead, Dorinda.
I said I showed you my thoughts on it. I'm copying her now. First thing I do in the morning is put on a push-up bra.
Bras are perky. I don't need one. I know my breasts are perky, I meant.
You know what?
Luann, what'd you think?
I totally had the misfortune of not seeing Ramona cleaning the toilet. Now I saw her mopping floors, but I missed the toilet scene. So
okay.
I'm gonna have to catch up on that.
Cooked, and Mario's doing the hard part. He's putting the sauce on top of the chops in the sauce. Good job, Mario.
Ramona, I do also want to ask, how's life in quarantine going?
I am cohabitating with my daughter and her
Yes.
And Mario's very gracious when I was in Aspen and the virus broke out there. My doctor, because my immune system is so low, if I get this virus, I'm not getting the virus.
Yeah.
And actually, Dorinda, I have you to thank again. Dorinda also connected me with Dr. Joffrey, who built up my immune system because I've been around 3 people who got deathly ill and I didn't catch anything. So I don't know if they got it after I was not around them, but all I know is I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling healthy. And you know what? We have a flow. I mean, even though we're together morning, noon, and night, we do our own things separately. Avery, she's working. She is fortunate enough to still have a position with a financial institution. So she's working from 9 to 7. And family dinner every night. We watch Game of Thrones every night. We're a unit, and it's really so far so good. It's been 18 days.
Good. That's a long time. I'm glad to hear it's going well.
Well, maybe you'll break down, Ramona.
Oh, you know, Mario said, he said, Ramona, we're spending more time together than when we're married.
Wow.
I was working.
When I talked to Ramona the other day, the first thing I said was, "Are you sleeping with her?"
What did she say? Can we?
No, we're platonic. We're good friends.
Good friends. Good friends. That's it.